Anthony Hartwig here with as we continue another spring sports preview, joined by the head coach of the Ursuline softball team in Kristina Dugan. Coach, thank you so much for taking the time to join us today.
Hey, thanks for having me.
All right, so before we start talking about this season and everything you expect from the girls, let's have a little bit of a reflection on last year. Obviously, a tough loss in the regional finals for you guys, but a lot to come back from and a lot to kind of take from last year. When you're reflecting on last year and you're trying to take things from it to build from this year, what were some of your takeaways from what you guys saw on the diamond last year?
We had a very great, talented team, and I think one of the biggest takeaways we try to. I mean, that's actually what we preach all the time. Like, what are the positives? What can we move on from? What can we carry with us? And then, what kind of things can we improve on and get better, in order to be better? And I think, one of those things are like looking at each other as better than ourselves and having that team camaraderie and supporting one another, and getting to know each other as people first and foremost. So that's one thing that I think this team has really embraced this year.
It was your first year as the head coach of this team last year. What did you learn about yourself as a coach that you're trying to take into this year? Maybe yourself getting better as a coaching philosophy or anything like that that you're bringing into this season.
So, we focus a lot on, like the mental aspect of the game, and we brought that into into like on a regular basis, into practice. We definitely want to continue that. I think the girls, that's one thing that they probably would want to improve on in general as a team. Like, that's if we had a weakness that we want to be more confident in ourselves. I think that they believe in them. Like, they are great players. If they could just believe that they're great players all the time. And so that's definitely something that we, focus on and then want to continue to focus on, in a more, uh, just maybe a little bit more than we did last year. So.
As we transition into talking about this year, obviously you did have to say goodbye to a couple of really good seniors, but you're also bringing back a lot of talent. I want you to highlight your roster, some of the big names that are coming back for you, but then also some of the new faces that'll be putting on the Ursuline uniform for you and will be gracing that varsity diamond.
So we have, Mio Palick. She, tied our school record for the most home runs last year. She's a stud in like in the circle. And we have Liza Barbado. They're both seniors this year. Liza, who comes up clutch all the time, in good hitting situations, and, her bat honestly hasn't looked like she's rocking it right now. And, we have a lot of young talent, and honestly, if girls step up into roles, we we have a lot of potential, and I think that they will. Um, and we have Hannah Saluga, who's going to hopefully step up into being a catcher, for us as a junior. We have other juniors too, like Gia Chavone, Savannah Patron, and Ari Went, Lily Dietz. Like, those girls are really going to, contribute. And maybe they didn't get the opportunity to contribute as much last year, but I think that they're really going to shine this year.
We talked about the seniors that you had to say goodbye to last year. Obviously, they were great leaders, and you're going to ask the new leaders to kind of step up and be a little bit more vocal this year. When you're thinking of players that you're going to really lean on as leadership on the field, who are some players that come to mind, whether it be vocal or example leaders or anything like that?
I think that's one thing that is a good takeaway from last year moving into this year, because we did have such a strong senior class, which you want. We we're really encouraging the girls to all be leaders in their own way. It doesn't matter whether you're a freshman, whether you're a sophomore. I mean, we have some little freshmen coming up that are gonna shine for us. We have our sophomores that had varsity experience last year that I think are gonna, if when they step up into their roles, they're gonna be some. See, I keep saying it, but they're gonna be studs. And, we all want them to be their own person, but also be a leader in their own way. And I don't think it needs to rely on one senior or one person. I think it needs to be a team effort, and I think that's a good takeaway from last year too.
When you're talking about that, I mean, how much are the footprints of last year's leaders kind of on this team, where they were able to watch those girls and those seniors lead, and now everyone kind of understands what it takes to conduct themselves that way? How much do you think that legacy of the seniors last year is going to last this year on this roster?
I think it's great. Like some of the girls came and watched us indoor scrimmage. One came and just like helped us do play calls. Some of the seniors from last year. One of the other seniors is like helping with lessons off on the side, and so I think that they're leaving their legacy. And our like the girls on our team this year now are saying, okay, this is what we want to do better, and this is what we want to continue. And I think that's kind of happens year in and year out. Once you step up into the role, you're like, okay, this is what I want to do. Different or the same, but I'm excited to see the girls be leaders this year in all different ways. So
Let's talk about the schedule that you guys have put together. I mean, every Ursuline sport, you're putting together a really tough schedule. It's always testing yourselves, but this year especially, because you've moved up a division into the Division 2 tournament, you really have to sharpen your tools before district. So when you're thinking about your schedule and the one that you've put together this year, what are some teams that pop up that you're really excited to kind of test your girls against?
yeah, so we were hoping to scrimmage Stowe today. It's just too wet, and the field just wasn't ready. But so that would have been a good test for us. We're trying to get some of those bigger D1 schools to help, like the previous Memorial Tournament. We got in that, and we're excited to see Austintown, a local school that that it has a good program. We are also seeing Walsh, and I'm sure that will be a great game as well. Um, but yeah, it was tough scheduling because those D2 schools, that's who we play, that's who we were playing up to like help us. And so now we get to be right with them, and it'll be good.
Was there ever any thought of like, I don't know if I want this team on our schedule again, because now we're kind of showing our cards a little bit because we're going to be in their bracket, we're going to be in their tournament.
Um, I mean, I feel like anything could change.
Right.
And so like we could not play with weather. It could be early in the season versus late in the season. I think getting to see good teams is just that's what's probably important the most. So I understand why some coaches don't want to play or do want to play, but it'll
I
all
think
work.
in other sports you can have a perfect world, but in softball and baseball, you have to just take what you get, man. The weather, whatever you play, like this, let's just go. Um, Talking about field conditions and weather, you guys got to play a lot more than most last year because you guys got to call YSU home, and obviously their field is well kept, and there aren't a lot of days. There are a lot of days, I should say, where other high school fields are unplayable, but you guys could play at YSU. What's it mean to you to have that as a home field and to be able to have another season sharing a softball diamond with a Division 1 softball team?
I'm very grateful, and I know the girls love it. But we're very grateful for the opportunity to get to play there. So I like so I played for YSU and never got to play there. So I'd like to tell the girls like, you guys are so lucky, like you got to play somewhere where I never even got the opportunity. Like I played at McCune Fields, so um, I don't know. I always joke with them about that, but.
What kind of advantage does it kind of give you? We saw the big stage never really got too bright for you guys, no matter where you would go, whether it be making it to state and you go to Firestone Stadium, or whether it be in regionals. But you guys play in a Division 1 stadium already, so you're kind of used to this atmosphere. You'll have a lot of fans show up at your games. How much of an advantage is that down the road to expose your girls to a big atmosphere type stadium every time they play a home game?
I definitely think that helps because you try to prepare them for the best and what they are going to see, and you want to prepare them for when bad things happen and good things happen on and off the field. And so giving them an opportunity that they could see down the road, it makes them more comfortable, of course. Um, But yeah, we'll get to play St. Vincent, St. Mary's too. I left them out, but I think we'll get to play them too. So that will be nice to get to play on turf with them.
You got to you also brought up how you focus on the mental game, mental aspect of the sport, and that's so important in softball, being mentally strong. What kind of exercises do you do with this team to keep their mental mind where it's supposed to be, and try to keep them engaged mentally as much as they are physically?
So we just do a lot. We journal. To be honest, the girls have journals. We do reflections. We do a lot of goal setting and kind of reflecting on that. We also look at like our teammates and what kind of pros and positives that they bring, because it's not just all about us out there, and getting to know them as people is important. We do I had like There's a lot of great inspirational videos or clips and things like that. So we do try to do that every, once in a while. Oh, definitely once a week, but um, sometimes I like to sprinkle in a couple more.
This program is also excellent at always giving back to the community and having community service. What does that do for this team to be able to take the people that support them or the community that supports them and take time to give back to that community?
So honestly, we have a great relationship with Zion Lutheran Church in Cornersburg, and we get to serve with them once a month. When season starts up and regular practice starts up, we kind of slow down, but the girls look forward to it and they love it. And it's, I feel like it's just a nice Saturday, even when it's cold and snowy and we're all bundled up outside. But it's a good kind of like team bonding a little bit too. But it feels good to help your community out.
Coach Murphy from Alabama always says the best leaders are servants. So, from a coach, watching your girls be able to serve people, how much do you think that affects their leadership on the field? How much do you see that kind of build their ability to lead their teammates, being able to go out there and serve people?
Yeah, when you look at other people as more important than yourself, and you just put yourself, I guess behind the other person, regardless of if it's in the community or on the field or in the classroom or whatever it is, it just makes you have more of a grateful heart. And I think that all in all, that they'll be, more positive and better people. But I mean, I love watching them change into the young women that they are. That's probably been my favorite part so far. And it's cool to see, especially like these girls step up into leadership roles now that I've been around, but as a head coach for the second year. So I,
Two, I was going to say 2 years in a row where this team has knocked on the door, getting to regional finals, getting really close to winning those games. How much like does that really help you guys? And then how much does it make you guys hungry to break down that door this year and not knock anymore, just break it down and try to get yourselves to a state semifinal?
yeah, the girls are ready. They're the ones who set goals for themselves as a team. I obviously have input too, but all their goals would be my goals anyways for them. But they have to own their goals, and they're hungry. They want to do better. They want, even though it was a great season, and we have a lot to say and have accomplished a lot. And but they're ready. And so I think that it does push them to want to go that next step, to do a little bit more this year, so that that way at the end of the season they're ready for it.
All right, Coach, before we let you go, I want to give you the chance to highlight your staff and the people that you have behind you that make Ursuline softball what it is, because we know you don't do it alone. Even though you get the interviews and the limelight, we know that you have a great set of support behind you making the softball program what it is. So who have you brought on this year, and who's some of your assistants that are making this program so good?
Yeah, you said it. I honestly couldn't do it without them. I'm grateful for them. They get to hear me, especially when we get canceled in the middle of the day and yada yada. But Coach Rebecca Hartz, she was an alum at Ursuline. She's been a coach for 10 years now at Ursuline, and worked with Kernan, and so she has a lot of heart and soul into the school and the program. And so she's my right hand man. Then you have on the JV staff, Coach Chelsea Rezo. She has lots of good travel ball and pitching experience, and she is going to be great. I know, stepping up into the head role at JV. And then Coach Dan Dankovich, he helps out with hoops, girls hoops, and he is just a great asset and addition to our coaching staff. As most coaching staffs are right now, I feel like it's a little small, but that means we'll be close knit and take on some good responsibility. So.
Coach, we're so excited to see you back in action. Give a shout out to when your first game is and when the Irish fans can first come watch you guys play.
So Saturday, March 25th at YSU. JV, I'm pretty sure, don't quote me on this, I'm pretty sure JV starts at 10 a.m. Against Field, and then we'll play directly after them. We'll actually play a doubleheader with Field and then Warren Harding.
Wow, opening the season with a doubleheader on a
Yeah.
Saturday. That's a great way to open the season. It'll be a busy day for Ursuline fans. They can go watch you guys doubleheader in the afternoon, and then head on down to Youngstown State and watch Lily Scott and Jaden Payne and Terrence Pankey all play in the All-Star game at YSU for basketball. So hopefully it's a really busy day for Ursuline fans. Hopefully the weather cooperates and we can get you all that squared away. Coach, thank you so much for your time giving it to us and being able to preview the softball season. We wish you the best of luck this year. We can't wait to talk to you again real soon.
Thank you for having me. Take care.